And welcome back to Big Apple Hockey. Two broadcasts in one day. And yes, I am your host for tonight of the Final Buzzer, John Fulkowski, my government name. Follow me on Twitter at 92in82. Running the ticker as well across the bottom. This way you can catch up on all the different stuff that we have here at Big Apple Hockey. But I figured I would do a little bit of a late night session since I'm up, and I'm definitely not feeling too tired as of yet. Definitely amped from that third period there. And hey, Maddie, definitely what a win tonight. Big win for the Rangers. Big win. And go kids, go. That's one of the things I'm going to talk about. Big win, yes. Total turnaround. There's a lot of good things to talk about here with this. I kind of did. I kept the banner short this time around just because I don't want to do too long. It's late, so I'm going to get right into it. You know what time it is. It's been a while, but here we go. Yeah, what's up from Vegas? Well, there's a lot of good that's up. So we're going to talk about that because I really don't have a whole lot of bad to go into. I will mention it, but I really didn't have any titles for it. So we got to start off with the kids, and the kids are all right. And I'm gonna reference the Who here because the song just fits perfectly. The title, I should say, at least. But you saw 2 goals from Kako and Lafreniere elevated to the top line. That line has to stay together. It has to stay together. And they looked great. They had some shifts where they were really dominant down low. They look like they play very well with Mika Zibanejad. Chris Kreider being on that third line gives the third line a boost. But it's not even just them. Philip Hedl scores a goal. So 3 of the 5 goals are scored by 3 of the youngest forwards on the team. And then you have Braden Schneider, who has a big game. And he was a big reason why the Philip Hedl goal happened because he made the breakup in the defensive zone. Braden Schneider, I thought, played great tonight. I thought he was excellent. I thought this was the best game he's had in quite some time. So, this is what happens when you put faith and trust in the kids and they grow in their confidence, and the confidence then turns into production. Development. This is development. Textbook. This is how you develop your young forwards. Give them chances to prove that they can do these things. It may not happen every night, but if they do it and they come through, you're going to get production from them going forward. And yes, these lines better stay together. They have to. They have to. And I'll listen, I agree on this, David. If they gave Schneider somebody who was well-rounded in their own zone, could move the puck decently, I think Schneider would have more better games. I think you would see more consistent efforts out of Schneider. Libor Hayek just can't cut it. There might be games where he plays okay. He was okay tonight. I don't have any problem with his play tonight, but I didn't think he was relatively good or anything like that either. I just thought he was all right. So, I definitely love the play of the kids. I thought they were great. They were all over the place. They were significant. They were impactful. They were getting involved in all the plays. And just Lafreniere, even the little hesitation play by Lafreniere to not shoot the puck at that open net after he had it. The stick was there in the lane. So what does he do? Hesitates, pulls the puck back, and then shoots it. Amazing. So Lafreniere, great. And I don't want to say it was a collapse because the second period, that was really one bad part of the game. And it was really a few minutes. It was more like, I would say, like the last 5 or 6 minutes of the second period was really in Vegas's favor. But that was the only time that Vegas really had any momentum. All the chances that they had were really to the outside. low danger chances for the most part. The Rangers were in the right position for the vast majority of the game. They just got into a little trouble there in their own zone, and that one shift that ended up leading to the penalties, and then that led to the 5-on-3 power play. So, yeah, I definitely love what I saw from the kids. That last part of the second period wasn't great, but they played about, I would say, 50 minutes of real good hockey tonight, the Rangers. So I thought this was a great effort from them. Power play comes back strong with 2 goals, a 5-on-3, and then a 5-on-4. And the best part is with this was that they got that 5-on-3, and they win that faceoff right away. And no, I'm just watching the replay, by the way, Lou. That first shot from Lafreniere, there wasn't a shot. Watch this. They're showing it right now. They pulls it back. It wasn't a shot block. So welcome, Jimmy. I don't think I've seen you before. So welcome to the show. But I mean, Clash, I like this too. Thompson smashing stick and Mika's second one-timer. 5-3 advantage. Yeah, it sucked, but whatever. So happy Hanukkah for you, David, and everyone else in here that celebrates. But yeah, the lack of development with the Rangers, and the kids got to show their stuff tonight. Let the kids continue to play. These lines have to stay together. So, but the power play came back strong with 2 goals. Mika Zibanejad with both of them, both one-time blasts from his Ovechkin spot. He looked great. I think he's playing with a purpose. He's trying to lead by example for the 2 young kids on his line. I really like that. I really do. I think this is good for him. And I think this needs to stay. I think you're balancing the lines by doing this, and you're going to develop the 2 kids that way, and they're going to turn into good players. These lines need to stay, but the power play came back with a vengeance tonight. They really did. They moved the puck very well, and they got some real good open looks. They're showing one right now on TV, and Fox and Panarin, they're using the telestrator to direct it. Fox comes out into the zone. Him and Panarin switch positions. Fox pivots, goes to Panarin, who goes right to Zibanejad for the one-timer, and just awesome. And they get the 5-on-3 goal right off the bat, off the face-off to Mika, which is great. Now they're showing that up on here. So, right, they win the face-off. Panarin goes over, Zibanejad, bang, back in the net. 5-1 game. And that's awesome. So, that was really a big moment that really put the game away. I mean, 4-1, I think, was enough, but 5-1 really hammered it home. That was it. Vegas knew they were done after that 4-goal lead was established. And it was great. The Rangers didn't look back. They locked everything down after that. So, and Maddie, you just brought this up, but I had this. Panarin shooting more, looks like his old self, gets 2 assists tonight, his 600 and 601st points of his career. They're interviewing Capo Caco right now in the locker room. Marc, I know you're in here because you just said leave a like, but I think you said that Capo Caco's ice time was going to be 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I think you said, or 14 minutes and 35 seconds. I think if you said 14:30 the first time, you were dead on the money. Well done, sir. Well done. Because it was 14:30 on the mark. Pun intended. So, and yes, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. Happy to do this. I've still got the energy. I didn't think I would actually have the energy to do this right now. So that's why I'm wired after this. And after that third period, amazing third period. We'll talk about that a little more. But when Artemi Panarin starts shooting the puck, he becomes less of a one-dimensional threat. And if you guys are, I know you guys are all been watching, and I've talked about Matt Barzal. Now Matt Barzal likes to hold on to the puck and pass the puck too much, and he becomes a little too one-dimensional offensively because of that. Artemi Panarin does the same thing, just doesn't have that type of skating that Barzal does. So when Artemi Panarin shoots the puck and he decides, hey, I'm just going to rip shots, that gives the defense something to think about. And the defenders have to respect that shot because his shot is amazing. He's got an upper level shot, and he's just so much more dangerous when he's shooting, as Mikey BX says here. So, Panarin needs to continue to do this. He gets 2 assists out of it. Panarin's going to get points if he just shows that he's a shooting threat and he's not unwilling to shoot, that he's willing to just rip that shot even through a screen. So, you saw it the other night. He threw a shot on net against St. Louis, and that ended up being deflected. You gotta do it. You gotta continue to shoot. You gotta give these guys, these goalies, the defenses, something to think about. And Panarin doing so opened up a whole lot of more opportunities for other players on the team, on his line. And it helps on the power play too, because if they think that he's going to shoot, they have to respect that shot. So, and that's what they did tonight, Michael. They shot more and they stopped looking for pretty goals. They just got pucks on net. And they made Logan Thompson look bad. And Alexei Lafreniere, by the way, Marc, 1353 of ice time. So, Brian, I'd like to see a Schneider-Miller pairing. Trouba will help mitigate Jones' high X stakes. Yeah, I think so too. I think if Trouba can get healthy and play in the third pair, I think you play damage control with him then. He can't continue to play the way that he's played so far, though. He wasn't bad tonight. I'll give him that. I think this was the best game I think I've seen from him in a while. So, and now this here, the Rangers just hit the awesome button. They just hit the awesome button right there in the third period. And this was the best period I've seen all season from them, from start to finish. They dominated Vegas. 4 goals. And yeah, I'm going to throw up that 4 like I'm throwing up a 4 horseman sign, obviously because I got a wrestling shirt on and I'm a wrestling fan. So I'll make any chance I get, I'm going to take to make a wrestling reference. But 4 goals tonight in a period, and they dominated Vegas defensively, and they limited their shots. I think they had, maybe 4 shots in that period? That was just total lockdown defense on top of just explosive offense right there. So, when you play periods like this, you're going to win games. But the best part about this is, as I've been calling for, we needed closer to 60-minute efforts all season. And this was the closest I've seen to a 60-minute effort probably outside of the Tampa and Philly games. So they played at least a good 50, 55 minutes of hockey, and they got rewarded for it. And they played the right way. And that's going to lead me into my final bullet point, which is this was the best defensive effort I've seen all year from this team. And you do that, you play the right way, you buy in on the defense, and you give the efforts, and you see guys like Artemi Panarin blocking shots and getting in shooting lanes and coming back. And even Panarin in the first period, there was a play that would have led to a backdoor goal. And Panarin came across on the far side boards, towards the far side boards, and broke up the play, and the puck went up and into the glass, and the Rangers took it and went the other way. That's the type of effort you need from your star players. You need your star players to lead by example, and Artemi Panarin did tonight. He did tonight. This is the best game I've seen him play all year. Absolutely. You talk about the other games where he's had multiple points, but this game was the best effort I've seen all around from Panarin in a long time. He needs to play more like this. He needs to show everybody that he's willing to do what it takes to win games, to compete, to battle, to give that effort defensively, because we all know he's capable of it. So yeah, and Matt, you're on the money here. It's the effort. It's whether or not this team shows up. They showed up. Now you have to come back Friday and you have to give another well-rounded, concerted effort against Colorado, who's banged up, half of their starters are missing. You gotta go and beat them Friday. There's no excuse. And not only that, but you want to embarrass Alexander Georgiev if you're a Ranger. And if you're Igor Shesterkin, you want to play your very best hockey, and you want to beat him, and you want to beat that team into the ground because you want that. You want to avenge that loss from earlier on in the season against Colorado. So let's get that win Friday night for this team, and maybe, you know what, if they get that win, then maybe it's the sign of turning a corner. It would be a 3-game winning streak. So that would be big for them. That really would. What's going on? A little late night hockey talk is going on. That's all the banner points I had to go over. But I'll take some of your questions and comments. We'll go for a little bit. Maybe we'll do like 15 minutes worth of Q&A. So that this way we can have some discussion here. But like I said, I had some energy. I don't want to be up too late. I do have to get up for work in the morning. So, fire away. I'm here. Let's talk a little hockey. I was watching the Buffalo game. I don't know if anybody watched the Buffalo Columbus game, but holy crap. Tage Thompson. Are you kidding me? 6 points? 6? Tage Thompson is ridiculous, man. He is absolutely ridiculous. How is Othman playing so far in the NHL? THC is a good question. Not as great as he was last year, but he's still having a very good year. Right now I'm just pulling up his numbers because I don't have them off the top of my head. He has, in 25 games, he has 33 points, including 13 goals. So he's having a really good year. It's not as great as it was last year, but he had 24 points in 16 games, including 11 goals with Flint before the trade. He's only got 2 goals and 9 points in 9 games with Peterborough. Peterborough has a better team. They're not going to rely on much offensively as they did in Flint. So I think the opportunities might just not be there the same way that they were in Flint. But he's going to be playing on a good team. So Tage Thompson, God mode. Tage Thompson woke up and chose violence today. We can say a bunch of things about Tage Thompson. Connor McDavid had 4 points tonight. Connor McDavid now has 52 points in 27 games. He's getting back to that 2 point per game mark. So Tage Thompson, nice guy. I like that. I like hearing good stories about good players like that. This is a nice little story here from THG. And then it says Tarasenko was the team comedian. I can see that. Some of those Russian guys are a little funny. Ilya Brzgalov, not exactly Russian, but played for Russia, as he's Lithuanian. But Darius Kasparaitis was the team comedian almost everywhere he went. So, yeah, McDavid putting up 4 points in a game is a pretty commonplace thing. But he's been kind of quiet of late. So that's a pretty good sign for McDavid to get back to 4 points in a game. Now, I mean, it's against Arizona, so you can take that for what it's worth, but McDavid is just ridiculous. I can't believe he already has 50 points. That's just nuts. So, S. Flett, welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen you in before. If you have been in here before, then my apologies, but welcome to the show. Yeah, and I definitely agree here. You got to keep this first line together. Mika and the kids have to stay together. So that has to stay. I would like to see Vitaly Kravtsov in the lineup, though. I really would. And I don't think he's going to get back in after that, but, whatever at this point. So, fire away comments, everybody. And questions. Could be about anything around the NHL. Could be other things to talk about as well. And it's funny, you bring this up because he is a second-generation player. His father, Brent, actually played in the NHL as well, I believe. So it's good to see Tage Thompson play very well. Yeah, Brent played in the NHL from looks like 91, 92. He was with the Kings, and then he was with the Jets for a few seasons, and then the Coyotes. Played 121 career games. But good for him. Good for Tage Thompson to be in the NHL and just absolutely tearing it up right now. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the top, I would say, 5 best forwards in the league right now. Just the way that he's playing, you got to look at McDavid, Robertson, and Thompson as 3 of the very best right now. Thompson's just been amazing all year. What's going on, Sean? Matt says Kravtsov has to play over Goodrow. Yeah, Barclay Goodrow did not have himself a good game. He got an assist on the Hedl goal, which he made a really nice pass for, but Vitaly Kravtsov should have been playing, and Barclay Goodrow did not have a great game. He had a lot of giveaways. 6 giveaways in this game have counted. So good for him to redeem himself with an assist somewhat, but not really a fan of his game tonight. The MLK line. Interesting name for it. Michael says he doesn't like Gallant's player development. I mean, I'm with you so far. Unless he's got something to do to change things up, and he's going to give them chances, then yeah, you know what? I'm not really a big fan of it either. I love this dude's man cave in this in this commercial here on MSG. That man cave is awesome. I'm sorry, got distracted there. I saw that. Yeah, meritocracy, my ass. With that, I don't believe that. So. Yeah, Kravtsov has actually been playing okay. Like he didn't look great earlier on, but since he's come back, he's actually looked pretty good. He's played well. So I have to give Kravtsov a lot of credit there. Didn't realize his banner was still up. Yeah, Thompson had himself one hell of a game. And then the Bruins shut out the Avalanche 4-0. They're reeling, but the Bruins are they're just that much of a better team. And yeah, Alexander Georgiev lets up all 4. And this is a good one. Lux Eterna is actually a decent song. It's a decent song. I'll give him that. So, I don't know if any of you guys follow music pundits on YouTube, but I follow Becoming the Night, Mike, and he went and reviewed the song. He wasn't in love with it, and I'm not going to say that I'm in love with the song either. I like it. I do. I think there's more of a thrash metal type sound. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Overkill if you listen to the drums. Oh, you got to see this goal from Will Cooley, by the way, if you didn't see it. Just absolute filth from Will Cooley in Hartford. He absolutely dangles Lehigh Valley. So So yeah, to get back to the Metallica song, "Looks to Turn" is pretty good. I like it. It's not the best song they made, but I really like how they go back to their thrash roots. If you like, if you sub to him as well, yeah, I would definitely check out his review of it. It's pretty cool. So I think he did a pretty good job with it, kind of breaking it down. So just really, really good. Just a good song. I think the guitar solo was a little meh. It's all right, but I really do. I like the tone and the tempo of the song, and how they have that '80s thrash throwback to it. So, Sean, I want to go to Pantera and Metallica at MetLife. I wonder how those tickets are going to be. If I could get them for decent price, then yeah, I would love to see them together. Yeah, and that's what Becoming the Night said too. Hit the Lights kind of vibes, which is, yeah, you could hear it in the riff. The drums sound like Overkill a little bit, especially that intro. That really gives you Overkill vibes. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good single, and I think it's probably the best single I think I've heard from them in a while, really. So I'm happy about that. Brian asks, "Do we have the highest paid third line in the league?" Well, right now, yeah. So I definitely I like that. I like Chris Kreider there. I like Vinny Trocheck there, and I like either Julian Gauthier or Jimmy Vesey there. I think that's a better line. I think it gives more balance, and I think Chris Kreider, the way he's played, he belongs right there right now. You want to keep him on power play one? Okay, fine, but spread things out. THC asks, is Jim Montgomery defensive first or more up tempo? I think he's more up tempo. He's not going to forget about defense, but he's more up tempo, definitely THG. And yeah, I agree, Michael. They aren't Pantera without Dimebag and Vinny. I heard Zach Wild's going to be playing guitar for them. So the Vegas cheerleaders are very nice in person. Yeah, I got to see them when we Mark and I went to the All-Star weekend there. That was pretty cool. It was a real cool experience. I hope they do that again there. I would definitely like to go out for that because they did that fun little block party thing afterwards and stuff, and it was really cool. But nights at the Encore are probably very expensive, so I hope to God I can somehow get comped for that again. Probably going to do about 5 more minutes. So get your questions and comments in. So this way we can end the night. Pantera has played 2 shows already. Ooh, okay. All right. Late, but yes, a win we could be happy about. Yeah, Core, definitely, bud. Gary says, welcome to the show, by the way. I don't think I've seen you here before. 2 first picks so far for Montreal, and I think they will add 2 more. I'm not sure of what you're talking about there. And it's All-Star Game 2022, not 2021, by the way, Mark. 21-22 season, but the All-Star Game was in 2022. Grant, welcome back, buddy. Grant asks, if the team stays the same, adds Hoffman, what would top 9 look like? Depends on depends on what the situation is. I wouldn't mind putting Hoffman on third line. Depending on the way he plays in training camp and preseason, I wouldn't mind putting him there. So, Gary, I assume you're talking about Montreal. Just and them having two first round picks. I guess I'm not really sure, but I mean, good for them. It just they have a lot of good young core pieces. I mean, you have Suzuki, you have Caulfield, you have Gooley, you have some young talent, Slavkovsky. They've got some young talent. They've got something good to build around. They'll be a better team in a few years. And Marty St. Louis, I'm a big fan. I wish him well. And I think he's going to evolve as a coach, and he has. You could see it game by game. The fact that Montreal is not a last place team is a testament probably to his coaching and his ability to let the young players just go out and find their game, which is what you have to do. And I'm glad if there's anybody that understands that, getting a chance and just going out there and playing and just proving that they can do it, it's Marty St. Louis, because he had to scratch and claw. So I think he's the perfect coach for that situation. It's funny because I know someone who actually played prep school hockey for Marty St. Louis. Marty St. Louis coached Mid-Fairfield Prep. And I know someone who played for him. So get some more questions in and some comments. Chris Ross says, good draw, had a bad game, made 3 turnovers to the ninth in our own zone for big shots. Thank God Igor played well. Yeah, Igor did play well despite not being tested. The only goal that was given up was on a 5-on-3 power play. Nothing you can really do about that except for not take stupid penalties. It's probably one of the only things that really annoyed me this game was just those back-to-back dumb penalties. The Trocheck trip, and then you have the lingering cross-check. And normally that doesn't get called. But you can't do that and put your team in that position. It's just a dumb penalty to take. Yes, I am very, very happy about locking up Judge. Very happy. The Yankees are supposedly in on Carlos Rodon too, which is big time yes for me. The Mets lost to DeGrom, but you get Verlander, who is going to be healthy as opposed to DeGrom, who is a ticking time bomb with injuries. They go get Brooks Raley to help shore up their bullpen. And word is that they're interested in Ross Stripling. So I think that's really good. And if the Mets get Ohtani next year, great. Get him out of the AL. Get him out of the AL. That's it. That's all I care about. Get him out of the AL. If they're not coming to the Yankees, get him out of the AL. Mets can take him for all I care. So, Core says Rangers look trapped tonight too, hence the good defensive play. Curious if they decided to tweak the system or I don't know if it's a system tweak or if it's just the effort, because it just seemed like the compete level hadn't been there all season. I think part of it is because Gallant's really not an X's and O's guy. He's not a well-known X and O's guy like a Trotz or someone like that. But there was definitely a noticeable approach and detail to defense in tonight's game, and that made a big difference. So kudos to the players for showing up to play tonight and not just overlooking Vegas and saying, oh, well, they're without Eichel and Pietrangelo, this should be an easy win. No, and you know what? Any team can beat any team on any given night in the NHL. Doesn't matter who you are. You could run into a hot goaltender. You could play down to your competition. And you could just make a couple of mistakes and they end up in the back of your net and you just hit a bunch of posts, a la Vinny Trocheck. Anything can happen. Any team could beat any team on any given night. So I liked what I saw tonight from the Rangers compete level. I think this was probably in terms of compete from start to finish, this was probably their best game. Whoa! Bogarts to Padres official? Woo! Wow. Okay. I heard there were rumors about that. This must have just happened. Okay, so let's see here. Just getting updates from. Okay, so it was announced around 11:21. So while the game was going on, wow, big signing for the Padres. Big signing. Good for them. The Boston Red Sox just they just lost a lot. Wow. Don't want to talk too much about baseball, but I mean, yeah, Arson Judge. That was great. I literally posted on Twitter. I made a tweet that said that Sam Rosen and John Heyman in a running competition to see who could make the most mistakes was the battle that nobody knew we ever needed. And it just it's like they're trying to one up another with their mistakes. Excuse me, that's Kreider. Arson Judge going to the Giants. I mean, John Heyman. Oh man, this is great. I don't know which person's funnier. Well, I mean, Marc is that conversation, Core. He is that conversation. So, and I'll leave on this. I'm going to answer this one as my last question, and then I'm going to log off. But out of Kako, Lafreniere, and Hedel, who pressed me the most? I'm going to have to say, I think Hedel. I thought the two kids, the two wingers, were very impressive on the top line, but I think they both equally impressed there. And I'm gonna have to go to Hedel because I think Hedel really drove play on his line. I really do think that. So I really like that. I really like the way he played tonight. I thought he played great defensively. He was skating well, drew penalties. I mean, he was really good. So, but I am going to log off for tonight. I told you it would be a short one. It's actually a little longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to go around like a half hour. But, it's 1:30. I do have to get up for work tomorrow. And thank you all for joining me. And tonight, like Mike was saying here, tonight was mostly a good game. I would say about between 50 and 55 minutes of really good hockey. So, big win for the Rangers. Hopefully the kids stay on that top line, Kako and Lafreniere, and they keep Kreider and Zibanejad separated. Let the kids develop and, take things from there. So, thank you very much. And yes, please like, share, and subscribe if you can. We would appreciate it. Trying to drive those numbers up and try to make more content. And plus, you got Marc's beautiful headshot right there. So give the kids more ice time. And yes, good night, everybody. And let's go Rangers. Take care.